jogging every day, Doc. You know, you got to be careful on those long jogs. I'm sure you're working out every day, Doctor.
Dude, well, I mean, I don't run, but yeah, it probably is more of a jogging.
Anyways, that's Princessia. I mean, I don't even want to break that whole statement down because there's a lot in there, but I'm just saying that was an incredible picture, seeing those many people, you know, on the road to Damascus.
Yeah, why are there no pictures of that from the Jews? Well, I mean, there's a bunch of fucking, like, Damascus pigs from when ISIS, dethroned al-Assad. And that bitch is a punk.
And you really expect me to believe...
I'm eating some Palestinian food right now.
You really... Oh, my God, I got to admit, there is a Palestinian restaurant near me that opened up, and I'm like, man, I'm glad you guys are going through hell because your food is fucking amazing. If that war didn't happen, this restaurant would never have opened over here. Thank God. Rabboni Shalom.
I didn't even know I liked these dog.
I'm eating chicken shawarma every day. They know me my name, and they're like, welcome back. They're like, you're our #1 customer.
Do you know what maklube is?
Yeah, it's like a salad, right?
No, maklube means upside down. It's like a dish that you cook, and then you flip it upside down at the end, and it has different vegetables cooked in it.
Like pineapple cake? Are you talking about like pineapple cake?
And then you eat it with salad and other things.
What is it again?
Pineapple cake.
So you can say either maklube or maklube. Maklube or maklube. Either way works. Yeah.
You can leave it on schmecken.
I can show you a picture.
I love your pussy.
Doc, shut up or I'm going to kick you out.
Ik moet dein gross Fleisch. Like me. Dude, I was in Germany with...
Thanks, Angel. I try not to like use my body powers.
Doc. Ich möchte, dass du deine Klappe hältst.
Is that German? Okay, Adrian, it's all yours now. You have no competition.
No, I mean, I thought Doc was killing it. I was laughing my ass off. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they're going back, which I'm, like, amazed at to begin with. So, like, but what are they going back to? I don't understand that photo and logistically where they're going. To what? I mean, do they have...
keep a good dog down.
I get it, but...
You know, there's been beautiful videos that I've seen of people going back to their houses, you know, not completely destroyed, but pretty destroyed, and they're just making it work. They're rebuilding it. They're renovating. I've seen quite a few videos of that.
I want to send them money.
Oh. But I think Bitcoin, right? Isn't that the answer? Yeah.
Money? They should be paying you all the propaganda you and Princessia have been putting out the past 6 months. Princessia, don't you know some billionaire in Qatar who can cut you guys a check for all the hard work you've done?
I know a Saudi prince.
I know a Nigerian prince.
Yeah, there's only 60,000 Saudi princes. I mean, what does that say? Is he like part of the upper echelon princedom, or is
he's on the royal court. He's the grandson of King Faisal.
Yeah, he's got 8,000 grandsons.
And I give me his information. Yeah.
He wanted to take a taste, huh?
He didn't, but he was very... I don't think so, but, like, I mean, he flirted weirdly here and there, but, you know, like, over messages. But, no, he's very respectful.
You remind me of the princess from Aladdin.
Jasmine.
I think that must be that Disney motif of the princess, particularly, like, I don't know, that's actually Persian, not Egyptian, correct?
I don't think they are in Egypt in Aladdin.
No, it's Arab.
Oh, it is Arab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's supposed to be like that the Sultan Knights motif. Yeah.
Well, that's an Arab word.
Right, but what I'm saying is I was confusing it with like a Persian kind of myth. Anyways, just saying.
What does it mean to rock the Casbah, John?
It's a song, but I don't know who the band is, right? Is it? It's not Jack Black, is it? Who the fuck is it?
It's the Clash.
It's the Flash?
The Clash.
Oh, okay. I don't really know them that well, but I do know that lyric. Rock the Casbah, rock the. Is it a British band? Rock the Casbah, rock. What is that? Is that a Persian thing, Casbah or something?
Yeah, remember when he goes, "This is not kosher."
So what's the history of Persians being Jewish? Like, is that when did that happen? You know, there's lots of them I just never thought of.
Well, they were in captivity under Cyrus in ancient Babylon and then in Persia. So their diaspora. They also see esoteric Judaism has many aspects which are similar to Zoroastrianism, and so if you study esoteric Judaism, you'll be like, whoa, this is Egyptian mysticism, this is like Jewish mysticism, from the temple or whatever, and then the success. Anyways, it's comprehensive. It's not specifically like Hebrew. It's like an amalgamation of where they were in captivity, meaning they borrowed and took from wherever they went.
It's a Persian.
Interesting. Okay. So Cyrus had captured them and enslaved them.
And Trump is Cyrus.
Trump is time.
I don't know if it's Cyrus. What is it again? They were in Babylonian captivity, and then what's the other one? There's another captivity.
Cyrus is the savior of the Jews, but he's not a Jew himself.
See, the Jews, wherever they went, they bring goodwill. So the king naturally likes them because everybody in their court is political and annoying and toxic. But a Jew will bring wisdom and delight to the king. So they get put into positions of power wherever they go because they have Torah, a.k.a. wisdom, a.k.a. love and goodwill.
Naturally. Their goodwill manifests on their noses, on the front of their faces, and in the hunching and rubbing of their hands. It's a addition of goodwill. And snickering, of course. Let's not forget snickering.
Are you snickering right now, Adrian?
No. Snickering. Ever notice how a Snicker bar? How much was a Snicker bar when you were a kid, and a package of peanut M&Ms when you were a kid? How much?
I don't remember. I'm a pretty poor kid.
You don't remember the price of a package of peanut M&Ms?
No, I can't recall that particular product.
You may need to go see a psychiatrist to get some type of brain boosting supplement, because that means maybe.
That's so funny because
I don't remember.
You don't remember the price of a package of peanut M&Ms? It's like the most standard fucking item ever created.
I remember you could buy a can of Coke for less than $1.
Well, how much was it then?
In some places, I could get a can of Coke as low as 35, 40 cents.
Yeah, but what was the average usually? Everything has always been 50 cents. That's my point. Is a package of peanut M's and a Snickers bar was always 50 cents. So since 1989,
a packet of gum was 25 cents. Or was it 10 cents? I forget.
No, it was
Like,
definitely 25
spearmint
or
gum.
50. Definitely 25. Well, yeah, maybe they
Yeah.
did have like the 4 pieces for the dime, but that's still old as hell too. But anyways, my point is inflation is definitely fucking like 250% over 20 years at least. I mean, if it's 5%
Exactly. So
a
when
year.
all these turds tell me that their houses and their stock prices, like today, Mike was saying, "Oh, my stock picks have gone up like tremendously. And it's like, yeah, but less than the price of inflation. So they really haven't. You've been losing money.
I know. But then he'll go into productivity. If you're earning money, you keep up with inflation. And he's not wrong, but at the same time, I mean, you know, there's a reason why people don't post photos of themselves. And, you know, I don't, anyways, just saying.
When are you going to get to plan B?
Well, I was dating this Indian chick, and you know, I did my deed as a man, and then the next day she called an Uber and had Plan B delivered, and I was like, don't do this. I was like, think about it at least for 24 hours. I'm like, you might not even be pregnant. Do you have any idea how fucking sick you're gonna get and how much? But let alone, like, you can't even say this, but the progesterone or whatever the chemical is in Plan B, apparently, like once you take that, it lowers your F level to the point where you can't have children in the future from deciding to take, you know, the letter that comes after Plan A.
Is that true?
Yeah, and you can't actually talk about it on YouTube because it's labeled medical misinformation or a violation thereof.
Well, I wasn't talking about that Plan B. You know that, right?
I'm just telling you, you know, I got to Plan B recently at 8 in the morning with an Uber driver.
Jesus.
But then she dumped me like a couple days later. She's like, I saw your Instagrams and there's no way I could be with you because if my parents saw, you know, your Instagrams, they'd be like, you're crazy. Why are you with this guy? And I'd be like, well, I understand. You know, it's totally up to you. You got to go with your gut instinct. And she's like, yes, this relationship will not work out. I was like, oh, damn.
Hey, wait, can you up the accent a little bit?
I could, yeah. On the first date, before we made love, she said, just FYI, I don't suck dick.
What a duffer.
I said, not even once a year, even if it's my birthday? And she's like, maybe.
Keep you wanting. That's what girls do. They reel you in like a fish.
PTR for my kind of Plan B.
Was it like a Smith & Wesson 357 AR-15?
You know, I thought, Angel, you were going to say you were going to post a picture of Baron.
Oh my gosh.
How old is Baron? Because I was going to say that's kind of weird, Angela. Oh, good. I was like, he's got to be
He's
legal.
a kid. I was just complimenting him.
You were saying he was sexy.
He was sexy. I was a young, good-looking guy. I would say he looks sexy. Doesn't mean I'm attracted to him. Ew, no, I'm not a pedophile.
So,
Man,
did you
Angel, he looks like a little kid.
talk? He's like 6'8".
His face is still like a Barbie doll.
Well, who do you?
Yours is too.
Does he have a big nose?
What?
He's getting a big nose, you know?
He looks like a Roman emperor.
Yeah.
Do you think?
He
Who do you?
literally looks like if he was in a stadium with like a blue wreath around his head, and he did a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Who do you think? Who do you think was more handsome at that age, him or his dad?
He is.
Yeah, Baron.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Well, yeah, his mom is that.
Too.
Yeah, his mom definitely fucking kicked those genes way up.
But where'd the nose come from? Because she doesn't have a big nose.
Have you heard the rumor that she was one of?
Yeah, that's what someone said when I was talking about this. They're like, yeah, lots of surgery.
Oh, or maybe not. Probably got a nose job done.
I don't think those. Come on. Slavic women don't have huge noses.
That's true, though. Yeah, that's true.
But maybe his nose isn't big, is it?
It's aquiline, as they call it.
Kids go through that stage, though. Like, during teenage years, their noses get bigger. And then once their faces develop to match it, then they're fine.
He's gonna, he's gonna fill in his face. Like, my ears used to look really big when I was younger, and then now like my face grew into it. So
You got fat. That's what you're saying.
Thank you. PTR, John. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I was just looking at my double chin today. Yeah, Travis Bickle. You know,
look at this. Look at the change in the ear size.
You know,
That's Robert De Niro
on the left and
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was Scorsese on the right.
Look at
Holy
the ears
shit!
and the nose change.
Well, let's see.
Jesus Christ.
Whoa, dude, that is not a real photo on the left. That is not a real photo. That chin is not his chin.
Way too small.
Yeah, dude, that is you're so funny though. That's very funny. But those are not accurate pictures. Those dimensions are not accurate. That chin is not his chin from that movie. Just go look at the movie, dude. That chin, everything there is been enlarged. Everything, even the nose on De Niro. Yeah, everything is fake on both photos. The nose on the left, the nose on the right, the ear on the right, the chin on the left. Yeah, these are both. Look at the guy. Look at De Niro on the right. He looks more like Martin Scorsese than he does Robert De Niro.
It's crazy.
Look who's here, Rabbi. He's a billionaire now thanks to Trump. And Bitcoin is over $1,000. Rabbi, send me some Bitcoin.
That's right. Who is Adrian? Adrian, it's time to do a meditation. It's time a deep hypnosis.
This is Alan, aka Fake Rabbi.
Fake rabbi. But I am a rabbi.
Oh, you're not the real rabbi. You're the fake rabbi.
That's
Are you
right.
the black rabbi?
Oh no, I'm not that one.
You're not that one either?
When
Which
you
rabbi
say that's
are you?
right, it sounds
This is a new one. This is Alan's 500th account. He's the only Clownhouse users who has had more accounts than me. Meet Rabbi. And he doesn't even say anything. I don't even understand why you've had to have a new account like every fucking day and you don't even talk. You don't say anything controversial. How the fuck do your accounts get, nuked? I don't understand it.
Well, I just want to say we're going to be releasing a Roger Mayhem video. So everybody stick around. I have to go, folks.
Roger Mayhem video.
Adios.
Right. You just came to say that he's going to be releasing a Roger Mayhem video? I guess, Adrian, that was for you?
Yeah,
Since you're obsessed with Roger Mayhem?
I've been creating rooms called the Roger Mayhem movie, and he's always
Right.
been attending.
Angel, did you find Makluba?
Yeah, I've been looking at videos how to make it.
But does it look good to you?
It looks so good. When you mentioned that, I remembered I had seen one because I saved different cooking videos to cook them, to make stuff.
Yeah.
So I remember, but I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't find it when you mentioned it. I was like, oh my god, what's her name? So I looked it up. Yeah.
Nice.
So I can see the marriage is going so great, Angela. You must be such a happy bride.
What makes you think I'm not?
I don't know, it's a shit
I
test.
played the lottery. Let's see if I win. If I win, I'm gonna send you all money. Okay?
What did you play? Like an actual ticket?
Can you send me 200,000?
Yeah. If I win the jackpot, I'll send you 200,000.
I love it.
Yeah, right. She'll fucking disappear faster than she farts. I did come on this app one time and tell people I won the lotto. It was pretty funny, the responses. And the way that I was treating people. I thought that was hilarious. Because people really did believe me. I mean, that's the funniest thing is if you tell a lie, people believe it, because people don't just question everything they hear. So it is funny to tell people you won the lottery on this app. And should see how that affects their dopamine. They get so excited.
What else did I miss on Clubhouse or Clownhouse, as you call it, Edmund?
There's always squabbles, and actually, that guy Alan, he's been in a lot of like rebroadcast rooms where I'm like live streaming rooms into other rooms that I created, and there has been a lot of dramatic moments. And it's very funny to see how mods try to contain, explosive anger and what they say. And I don't know, I just love like, I don't know, like observing and recording human behavior. And this app has a lot of African Americans on it.
What's the point of observing? I mean, observing, recording, observing, either way, if you're not going to do anything with it. Like, you record and you never go back to it.
I know. From an anthropological perspective, to like record Native American ADOS, or essentially African Americans, what they're talking about, how they talk to each other, what their anger is in general. I mean, this is the most toxic app ever imaginable. It is like a black talk therapy app. It's technically blacked. That's what this app is. It's blacked. It's insane. Like, this app is crazy because you can, and if you're out from outside of this country, you must think this country is all like that. If this app is your exposure, I know people are more exposed to American culture through media and movies, but like when you come on this app, you're just like, what the fuck happened? And plus, people make the point that most of the blacked on this app are probably on welfare because they're here so much. Clearly, they're not fucking working. So they already have socialism. They already have a minimum basic income. I mean, Anne, she's like the only white person on this app, and she's like a work from home mom. I mean, I don't think she works either. So I think you can definitely tell who the fuck works and who the fuck doesn't on this fucking app. And Princessi and Angela, goddamn, I mean, it must be a nice life you two have. You're fucking fully retired. It's amazing. Congratulations to you both. Now, Ryan, I get the feeling he's working because he's not talking most of the time during the daytime.
I won't comment on that.
Essentially, you ladies have what's called pretty privilege, and I think it's time you admit it and fess up to the fact that you're both lazy princesses, and you use your pretty privilege to acquire wealth and power and not work. I mean, let's be honest. Let's hear about all the hard work you've two have done in your life. Be honest. Go ahead. Tell us about your vast career of hard work. Let's hear about it. Let's hear about all the studying you did. Let's hear about all the long hours you put in every week for the company, and you rised up in the ranks through diligence, hard work ethic, intelligence. Let's hear about it. I'll wait.
Terrible CIA, you don't know.
I believe in patriarchy. Thank you.
You believe in feudalism? You would say that, wouldn't you? But chances are, what do you think feudalism is? It's a patriarchy. You've never heard of feudalism?
No, sir.
Oh, well, you're missing a big swath of human history. Let me introduce you to it. It's called feudal system. There's a king, there's a queen, there's the peasants, there's the peons, there's the upper class. There's no middle class in a feudal system. There is the poor, and then there is the upper echelon, which surrounds the king and his kingdom.
I like that. I want to be the queen there.
Yeah, that's patriarchy. That's fantastic. But see, we are living in a matriarchy system until, Trump won. I mean, the whole system, and we were about to go into Kamalism, which was going to be a matriarchal system.
Kamalism.
It's true. You know how we dodged a fucking, not just a bullet, we dodged a fucking nuclear A-bomb in this country. That woman would have ripped the guts out of this country. She would have put the nail in its coffin. It was all downhill from there. All downhill. Ugh, I was listening to recordings. I can play for you recordings from people on this app saying, her name is Kamala. Kamala, say it and get used to it, bitch. Like the most toxic, sick people you could ever imagine.
Someone from India told me it's Kamala.
Kamala.
No, it's Kamala.
Kamala.
Kamala. Kamala. Kamala Devi Harris. Kamala.
See, if you are an accelerationist and you believe that imploding America as fast as possible is the optimal way to restore order to the country, you would have voted for Kamala. And it would have been a huge disaster. But she could have literally gutted the country to such an extent where there really would have been an actual revolutionary civil war against the U.S. government, because if the censorship regime continued in the way that it had prior to where Elon Musk bought X and everybody had to get zapped and boosted, otherwise you would have been starved out, like that would have been the actual war event. I mean, I would have gone to war. I would have sacrificed my life to fight that. You know, I would rather die a Zav-free person than be forced to take, Fauci and Bill Gates's and Pfizer's patented product manufactured out of India. That's just me. It was a black woman who saved my life in the military. So I will be forever thankful to black women.
How did she save your life? What did she do?
Oh, she woke me up. She let me know that. Yeah, she woke me up. She let me know that I was walking into a trap. And because of her incompetency and the fact that she was a DEI hire, I knew immediately not to participate and not to die for her. That's how she saved my life, by being herself.
It's over.
I'm waiting for Elon to go live so I can get out. Sorry, I know I'm really burning you out.
I wanted to ask you and what's his name, Hampton. So I posted on my YouTube an unlisted video of Al Jazeera's documentary with English subtitles because I wanted to link it in a PDF document.
Yeah, copyright infringement.
Yeah, how did they what algorithm picked it up if it's unlisted?
It doesn't matter, listed, unlisted, it still goes through the same filter.
Okay, but it says that it was reported by Al Jazeera, and I'm like,
yeah, automatically. Okay. It's automated.
I need to know how because now I have one strike on my account, and I did go to copyright school.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been to copyright school, right?
Have you been to the medical misinformation policy training and testing school yet? You can't talk about the Zav. You still can't talk about the Zav.
Yes. Really have that training?
They do. I posted a video about it, and I was like, "Is this why they took my account down?" Because I posted a video of the Depop Zav training.
I'm owed an apology since you accused me.
Yeah. I do. I've been meaning. I haven't talked to you in a while, but I was actually meaning to apologize to you and say it wasn't you. I don't know exactly why it was taken down, but I don't think it was you. I don't know the reason why.
But it's so funny because it told me, do you want to go to copyright school? And I was like, intrigued by copyright school, so I answered.
It's funny. If you talk to the black on this app, they'll be like, "I got my motherfucking Google certification, but I still can't get no fucking job." It's like everybody's talking about getting certs and change. I think who the fuck was telling me that they're going to? Oh, do you know Oilfield Rich on this app? He works in the oil industry. He's always in the rooms. He's like
Allegedly.
No, he really is on this app a lot. But the point is, he told me he was getting his certs so he could become an AI tester and make 300,000 a year, and I'm like, yikes. I'm like, whoa. Some people really have no fucking clue. Like, good luck.
Why don't you do this, Adrian? Why don't you take the videos that you upload to YouTube or your live videos or however it is, whatever you do.
I don't upload
Feed it into AI, have AI analyze it for you, and do more with it that way.
Yeah, somebody said to like use AI to create like tons of cuts, you know, and have it and then put out those videos. Like, I would love to do all that stuff, but I mean, doing what I'm doing, I'm like fully flowing and doing as much as I can doing. I'm doing.
Have you monetized yet?
No, the accounts are growing. I mean, they're growing, but like it seems like if I were to actually do the forward calculation, it could take me still like years to possibly get monetized at the
but
growth.
I can know how what's his name got, because he's copywriting.
I know, isn't that kind of well? See, that must be the LGBTQ privilege pass he gets. Just like how you girls get the pretty privilege pass.
I think what happened with him is he did get the violation, and then he got in contact with them, and they allowed him.
So he's a special editor for them for free. He gets the
whatever. Yeah, they say. Yeah.
Good for him, though. I mean, he's in my feed. I subscribe to him and I see his stuff all the time, and it's just like it's the dumbest rat hood shit you could ever imagine. But I get it that people do get their dopamine feedback loop from watching, blacked fights. So that's what they do.
Yeah.
I recorded a fight in the streets of Las Vegas one time, and it went viral and had a couple 100,000 views. And then some company contacted me and wanted to buy the license to the video. And but it was like a rev share thing. And I was like, I'm not gonna, and you didn't get paid out for like a year or two. I was like, this is the dumbest deal I've ever seen in my life. I was like, just fuck off.
Well, I need to take a commercial break, so give me 1 second.
How do you say toilet in Arabic? Jora. Welcome to your Jora break.
That's actually how the Palestinians say it. I don't know how other people say it. Okay.
Did they say shit went to the Jora?
Ready?
What? You like that, don't you? Because it's like it makes you think that like.
I have to get my commercial break in.
Oh, I see.
You know what's funny is I randomly went to your YouTube and I was just like listening to it while I was doing things, and it came up and I was like, I was still laughing so hard. So then I went on your I went to your, what's it called?
There must be like a.
Your recording and recorded it.
There's got to be like a telekinesis thing, like how people say. Like before they get home.
No, bro, you and I don't have that. Sorry.
No. It's not you and me. I mean, I was talking to Abby at the time, and we were like, "I bet you Nora's watching," and then you're fucking watching.
But Adrian, it wasn't. It was a 10-minute Torah. Like Abby wasn't even talking in that. It was a 10-minute Torah reading with Elle, the cute girl Elle, and Zach. Like it's not what you're talking about Abby, because she wasn't even talking. You have your days wrong. It was on the 23rd. Yeah.
Well, anyways.
But I don't know if you can see if I'm watching, so I watch without being logged in, so you can't tell if it's me. I don't care. I'm not going to just let you see if I'm watching. I don't know if it shows. I don't know how it works.
Well, yeah, it shows your profile name when you're watching. But if I don't know your profile name, like how the fuck would I know it's you?
What's my profile name? Because I've watched it on my profile name.
I have no fucking idea. I don't know because I don't like keep track of the people that watch the live stream.
But every time, like I hadn't gone on your thing for a while, but before I would like jump in. Every time I went in, you were talking some BS about me. You and your fans. So I was like,
I know
alright.
that's because we had, that Diego account is back. I can't access it, but it's still on the platform with the Diego PTR. Well, I think it was called Diego something. I don't know, but let me see. Because I'm sure there's actually a lot of content on that profile. Let me see.
So the YouTube that get taken down, the one that you've been
Diego
had
Art.
up
It's
there
still
for
here.
2 years?
704 friends. Diego Jewish derangement syndrome. Dr. Diego's dandruff and earwax. The Jews. Jewish derangement syndrome therapy. The cult of Diego. Dandruff and earwax. Diego dreams. Remote viewing trans. Trump goals USA 2025.
Adrian, you have an obsession with them.
No, it was a content.
It's more like an envy.
It's not envy. It was totally because of your stupid Anne Frank comment about an innocent young child who was brutally murdered, and you're laughing about her fucking eye color. You're making fun of Anne Frank, and you're doing it all the time. You pissed me off.
Adrian, I was asked to PTR a photo, and as I was looking at photos, there were colorized photos of her. One of them had blue eyes.
Listen, it doesn't matter. I already did the magic spell, and Anne Frank, you're actually the reincarnation of Anne Frank. I just got to tell you that.
It was actually interesting. Yesterday at the gym, I was at the gym yesterday. Yesterday at the gym, I have to go.
What day is it?
Yeah, I know. And so I was like looking at the TV, and it was this documentary about Anne Frank. I was like, what the heck? Like, what is Anne Frank on TV?
Abby said that she would. Oh my God! Abby today said that she was watching an Anne Frank documentary and she started laughing, and the person she was with was like, "Why are you laughing? That's so rude." She's like, "It's from something else. I'm so sorry." I wonder if you two were watching the same documentary.
No, it was like a commercial for a documentary. I wasn't actually watching it.
See, you don't hate Abby. You don't hate Abby, right?
I don't.
She hates you though, and that's what I can't understand. Like, how the fuck do you live your life with hate with some random person on a fucking social audio chat app? And I'm just like, keep trying to convince her. I'm just like, there's something wrong with you. Like, she's like, no, I fucking hate Arabs. I'm just like, wow. I mean, Ryan, you were in the room today, and then you guys kicked me. But anyways.
I didn't kick you.
Well, Abby kicked me. Or
but you don't blame her about me, right?
Blame her about you?
Yeah, we always hear about you, girl.
I don't know what I understand. What do you mean? No, there's only beef.
Really bad?
I think there's only real beef between.
Bad service. My mom left her phone.
Adrian, it's just so much nicer to focus on the people you love. That's what I was talking to a friend today, and I was explaining that to her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just nicer,
100%.
Yeah, so I like to put my energy in people I love, what I love, etc. The Clubhouse has been, I've learned a lot from it. I've learned, because I did let this app affect me before, and the things that people did and do, but whatever. Somebody made a new house with me, 2 days ago. I don't even know who it is.
Well, there is that.
I didn't even know. People sent me screenshots of it. And I was like, they were sending me screenshots. They're like, who's this? I was like, I don't know, fan. I'm like, I don't know. It's not too bad, so I'm probably going to run to the gym because it's 46 degrees. And I ran to the gym the other day and it was 17 degrees. So I can definitely do 46. So I'll run to the gym to get a workout. It's 8 o'clock.
Why don't you just drive? It's kind of dangerous to go running,
I like to do my cardio, but it's not far.
Is it safe in your area?
I mean, there was somebody murdered not too far on the other side of where I live. Not here, on the other side of where I go to the gym. I don't go to that side of the road. I go to the fancier side. If that makes sense. It's a wealthier. One side is really wealthy and the other side is really poor. And so my gym is in the really wealthy area, not in the really poor area. Yeah. But I mean, if it's my time to go, Adrian, it's my time to go, right?
You gotta work out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let me see if Elon is live yet. As soon as I love going to the gym.
So is that not considered copyright? Because now I'm get a second strike. supporting Elon Musk or Adrian Dimon?
No, there's no copyright on it. It's open source.
Okay. Can you? So is there any way I can fight back the strike about Al Jazeera and tell them, hey, it was
No.
nobody was like viewing it?
Oh, if it's no. Because if you did it with a green screen and you did it in the background, that's transformative, and therefore it falls under fair use. But because
No,
you
Adrian,
just
all I did is this girl. All I did was this girl. Hold on a second. All I did was this girl took the documentary because there's a new documentary that came out and it's only in Arabic. And I was planning on translating it into English, but somebody already did it. And I saw it on Telegram, but it's on Telegram, and I wanted to make it more accessible to the people that I was sending this information to. So I uploaded it to my YouTube under unlisted. That's all I did. Is took another video that somebody made of Al Jazeera with English subtitles. 56 minutes. I uploaded it to my YouTube, but I posted as unlisted, and then bam, it went down within like 5 minutes.
yeah, there's nothing you can do. Just take.
I have to wait 90 days.
Yeah, just open a new account if you want, and get a burner phone.
I have other YouTube accounts, but this is the YouTube account that I got access to. Like, it's my original YouTube, so I like it.
Well, yeah, there's nothing you can do. You committed copyright violation.
Okay. I mean, I didn't lose it. I still have 2 more strikes to go.
Yeah. I mean, I have had multiple accounts get deleted. It's always been the Zav thing.
But Adrian, when are you gonna get married and have children? And like, what if like all of these videos or like whatever your videos and all this stuff does deter somebody from wanting to be with you?
Then I'll be all alone. I'll die happy.
I mean, like, it seems like you and Nargis bonded really well. Have you thought about trying to ask her out?
I would if she lived in Chicago.
You can't go to where she is. It's just, like, America is not.
No, I know she probably lives in. She's rich. She probably lives in that little enclave where I met Diego.
Okay, so why can't you go where you met
I
Diego?
would, but I mean, listen. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Nice to her. You're very well behaved around her.
Yeah, she's awesome chick. She sounds great.
I love Nargis. I've known her longer than you've known her, but yeah, why don't you?
Oh, is this a clubhouse contest for who's the coolest? Jesus, are you like still in high school or something?
I'm sorry, yeah, but anyway, go on. So, I feel like that would be something beneficial for you from Clubhouse other than all this.
Listen, I don't think you understand. I don't know why. Listen, if a woman thinks that it's weird that I create videos, and I'm a video creator, content creator, producer, director, whatever. If she listen, the whole point is, if you are going to sit there and analyze me on my videos as opposed to being with me in the real time, which is now, instead of the Silicon Screen world.
You're gonna put her on the videos. And
no, when I talk to a girl that I want to take out on a date, I specifically leave my studio so she's not captured on audio, at least not too long. But then, yeah, I mean, it's it does become one of those things where it's like, today we were talking about narcissism, and I looked it up, and narcissism is the inability to return affection. And
who was talking about narcissism today?
It was in the morning in a room. We were talking about narcissism, and I created a room called Narcissists Talking About Narcissism.
Gotcha, because I actually analyzed that conversation on with AI and ChatGPT, and it was pretty cool.
What did it say?
Let me go to my sources. Let's see, because I did a lot of analysis. Let me see. So do you want the summary of the conversation or do you want the... What is it, Danny? My bad. My husband just said, "You're a narcissist to me." Oh, okay. So this is...
See, that's what narcissists say. They project their own narcissism on you.
Okay, Adrian, let's get the summary of an earlier conversation. It's not the whole conversation because I didn't record all of it, but I didn't have thinking far ahead to do that ahead of time. But then I was like, oh, I think I need to start recording. So this is the summary, though I also have a transcript. And it says the video features a philosophical dialogue that explores the interplay between religion and narcissism, particularly in the context of different cultures, especially Judaism and Islam. The participants engage in a debate over the implications of collectivism within cultures and how it may contribute to narcissistic traits. Did you want to say something, Mr. Adrian?
No, I was just going on mute, sorry.
They examine the notion of being, quote, chosen within religious contexts and how this lead to feelings of superiority and exclusion. The discussion also touches on historical interpretations and theological differences between Judaism and Christianity, including the significance of the New Covenant. The conversation shifts towards recent technological advancements in artificial intelligence, discussing the implications of new developments by companies like, I can't say that word, and the competitive landscape of AI technology, with specific reference to a new company, Cerebrus Systems, which is working on revolutionary chip design for AI processing. Highlights: interconnection of philosophy and religion. The conversation emphasizes how philosophical discussions often intersect with religious beliefs, indicating that understanding one without the other can be insufficient. Collectivism and narcissism. The participants discussed how cultures exhibiting collectivism might foster narcissistic traits with a focus on Jewish and Islamic cultures. The chosen people concept. The idea of being the chosen ones is debated as potentially leading to narcissism, with implications of how adherents of different faiths perceive themselves and others. Historical context and religion. The discussion highlights the importance of historical context and understanding the evolution of religious beliefs and practices, particularly concerning relationship between Judaism and Christianity. Do you want to keep going or do you want me to stop? Because that was just
Is there a summary?
Yeah, this is a summary. But then it keeps going. But then I then took this and put it into my chat GPT. Let me open my chat GPT and spoke with it more directly in relation to, well, one of them actually, I lost it because it said that I asked it incorrectly. So I had to put it in a PDF. So I fed the summary and the transcript to ChatGPT, and then I asked, I'd like for you to analyze this conversation as objectively as possible, please. And the ChatGPT said, the uploaded file titled Collectivism, Religiosity, and Narcissism appears to analyze a recorded discussion that merges philosophical and religious and technological themes. Here's an objective summary of its content. Blah, 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 blah. And then I said, look at the transcript portion of the document, not the summary portion. And then it did another one for me. And then I said to it, is it fair to say that Islam breeds narcissists as one of the
fucking gods are weird, by the way, because, like, what are you trying to do there? Are you trying to signal that they need to stop reproducing? I mean,
okay, listen to this.
Excuse me, hang on there. Hang on, what are you doing? Okay, anyway, so I set it over there, and then they used to basically, like, float bombs. Like, what the fuck? That's
This is
insane.
Elon's talking about Gaza.
Real? I can't believe that this is actually real.
I was like, what the fuck? That's wild, dude.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
This is Adrian, aka Elon.
Yes.
It's not amazing that bombs are being strapped to fucking blown up condoms. Of course, no, that's not amazing. But it's just funny that that's an actual story we can call real for as long as people don't get hurt, you know, because that is in fact a problem. By the way, Lord Miles is here. What's up, dude? Boy, this guy's about to say some crazy shit.
I'm gonna say some crazy stuff.
So what have you been doing?
Well, I got a member of the Taliban fired the other week with a condom. Oh, really? Yeah. You know how it happened. So I had a bunch of tourists coming to Afghanistan with me. As you do, you know, it all happens to us. And they brought like a few gifts for the Taliban. And some guy must have fiddled, you know, messed up some of the gift packets. And then one package got given to some random Taliban guy. Turns out he's the bodyguard of the head of foreign intelligence, you know, really high up Taliban guy. And he gets this gift package, and then he gives some of it to the head of foreign intelligence as a gift, think he's being a real kind guy. One of them is like this pocket pussy type of thing, and then one of them is like a condom, because the pocket pussy contains like a condom inside. It's like this egg you could untwist.
It's a sex egg.
Intelligence posted it on his WhatsApp story, asking what it is.
And of course, he got a few responses, and he was very embarrassed. So apparently, went to the Taiwan.
You didn't know what it was.
Through the sex toy, a member of the Taliban sent him to like the worst province possible for like a few weeks, and he's contemplating on allowing him back into the ranks. So just dumb stories we've all had. How you doing, Adrian? Anyway.
I don't know what to say. This is the craziest thing. This is something that literally cannot be made up. That is wild. I'm doing pretty good, actually. A lot better than before. This is fucking hilarious. I had a little bit of falling out with someone in DMs over like whether or not gamers use the word cooked more than people in tech. My point was, gamers use it more in terms of them being mainstreamed, as in like a lot of them are using it, but there's just many more gamers than there are people in tech. Although people in tech, I think by definition, use the word a lot more than gamers do. Because what happens when somebody tries to deploy some code?
So he also, FYI, he records everything. And every podcast he's ever done on X, he's recorded. And he doesn't disclose.
It's kind of hard to tell.
No, he doesn't have replays.
But hackers have more hacker houses.
Okay, so then how do you know he's recording?
He admitted it yesterday. He said everything has always been recorded, the whole thing.
They died like a long time ago.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Now we just try to fuck with DeepSeek AI. That's what we're trying to do now. That's what we meet up for physically, because measure your computer setup and such. Yeah, but man, that's crazy. I heard you were in Turkey before. Like, what are you doing? You're like out and about. Like,
yes, I am fortunate. We're just trying to evade Greece right now, trying to formulate something. Now, jokes aside, I got a hair transplant, and looks like I messed up a little bit because my head looks like a giant egg. So yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna learn the hard way. Fuck around and find out.
To England, because when you have passport control, they're gonna look at me, and they go look at my face.
This guy got a bad hair transplant.
What happened there?
Another point for the mall men.
Someone hit you with a car. You're deformed now. You're retarded. And I go, you know what? Maybe, but still me. And then it's gonna be a whole deal. And then they'll go, wait, you've just been 9 times to Afghanistan this year. What's up with that, bud? Tell me about that. That sounds interesting. Do tell, and I'll just kind of, die inside. So if I go missing, Adrian, you get to keep my account. You get to keep my ad revenue.
This guy's name is Lord.
Yeah, it's all good. Just remember me, guys.
Lord Miles Official. Real_Lord_Miles. Lord Miles is the last great British explorer who goes to the most extreme places on Earth.
By the way, boys, do you see Outa in the audience by any chance, or Meta, or any of these?
I do not.
I want to let up 2 people specifically that I'm expecting. I want to let Outa up, and I want to let Meta up, because we're going to have a bit of an AI discussion. I didn't think that Miles was going to turn up. Miles, what brought you here today?
No, he's banned my accounts. He's blocked my accounts.
You're on my
Because I have a burner account in the room right now that he doesn't know is my recording
I'm
account.
retarded, but I'm not going to comment on how that coincides with you.
But he only brings up, very specific people. He doesn't want people coming up and, giving him gotcha moments by, like, he had Laura Loomer and Nick Fuentes on there, and somebody said the N-word, and he flipped out. He had like a panic attack.
The Taliban doesn't kill this guy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I wonder why I'm single. It's kind of like
Clubhouse.
Yeah, he would not be able to. He was on Clubhouse originally, and he left.
He's a very, very smart guy. He's probably more artistic than I am, but in a way that he's like managed it a little bit more, and that he's like focused on one specific niche. Very intelligent dude. Meta, what's up, dude?
Hey, how are you guys doing? I don't think anyone's described me that way before, but thank you. I think it's a compliment.
225.
Absolutely, man. This is the person that, I get mad with people when I argue. Like, I get mad when I argue with people beyond a certain point where, like, logic is missing. This guy outcompetes the missing logic by simply using his own logic to add to someone else's who may be missing, which is honestly wild. I can't do that. I cannot do that. That's what he does. It's a very nice person to have a debate with, but if you hate yourself, you're really going to not like this guy. I use as an example Tesla Q here, of course, I'm citing that. Many people will know from the early days of what we did. But, yeah, he's great. He's great.
Yeah, wait, do you know if Ouda's joined?
He should be, yeah. I'm still, like, expecting him. He's probably doing something. He's probably got some stuff going on in real life. also. Yeah, these usually don't be bangers.
Yeah, this Doge thing is a banger.
Yes.
Taking over everything.
$1 billion a day or something. They want to increase it to 3 over time. That's really cool.
Saving money on everything, including, of course, sending condoms to Gaza. Like, we're not doing that anymore.
No more condoms for Gaza, Princessia.
Yeah, because we're Catholic. We don't
I mean,
believe in that.
Yeah.
Catholic.
the level of bad journalism that is on display right now is fascinating to me. Whether it comes to like politics, Doge, or the AI coverage that we're going to talk about soon, I think it's just it's surprising how low the bar has become. Like, I think there are social media accounts that are better at editorial review than a lot of the press at the moment.
True, it's very telling of the times. Also, what's very interesting is the White House will be allowing in people who are not just journalists, but like actual citizen journalists, to report as well, to be part of the press briefing effectively, which is really, really cool. That is really a sign of the times. It's a good thing that that's happening at an official level, because before we didn't have this at an official level. The only people who were allowed in were legacy media journalists. Now actual citizen journalists get to go there and get to contribute. That is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, the fact that they have like fixed seats for different news people is kind of weird. It would be interesting if it was more like a lottery or something along those lines.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I can see Tucker Carlson and a bunch of others who clearly get coverage applying. Anyway, it'll be interesting to see, but I wouldn't hold my breath, just because if you look at say.com and the way that the conversation and the questions have gone, when say.com first started taking investor questions, they were much better than the institutional questions, but now they're really bad, right? Like they've every Tesla earnings call, they're just like, when is the next car coming out? And then the response is always, we don't make product announcements here, and they just burn a question.
Exactly. Yeah, it's gone pretty bad. I've listened to a few earnings calls. I've since stopped because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter to me as much. I just need to basically focus on where it's going to go in 5 years, and that should be fine. Right? You have the Robovan thing coming out. You have Optimus that is in the works. You got the little robot taxi. That's all you really need to know. Whatever progress is being achieved there, they will let you know in terms of the data, and everything else is just kind of not there. And the YouTubers that listen to this and various other content creators are going to extract the points of value. So it's actually kind of sad that I think the people who have more or less, infiltrated the say.com questionnaire are like people who are just there to troll for no reason. It's not even troll, it's just being stupid. It's unfortunate. It really devalued the quality of the Tesla call overall, which is not a problem. It's not a fault of Tesla or anything, really. It's just the fault of the people that infiltrate and ask questions that don't matter. When is the next? They're gonna have to. Oh yeah, it's gonna be nice in a couple months. Is that out of there?
No, I think the next earnings call is today or tomorrow.
It's nice.
The fucking CEO doesn't even know when his own earnings call is.
I actually haven't looked at what the questions are on say. I'll go take a look and make a judgment. Hold on.
Cool. If you're able to if the judgment is good and it's going to be something that's worth talking about.
Okay, I'm gonna hop out of here, Princess. Have a great night. Have a good workout. Talk to you soon.
We could just break things down after the call or during it as well. We could just kind of have a conversation about that. Very nice. Anyways, for those of you in the space, please quote post the space with join the conversation so more people can in fact see that we are here. Still waiting for one of our own to come up so we can have a nice AI discussion. Yeah. Give it an eye out, yeah.
Miles disconnected, looks like, but yeah.
Right. If he tries to come up again, of course let him up, but if he's disconnected, he's disconnected probably because he's got a jet. Everybody's got something to do.
Yeah, you can also bring in some of the questions out to send me, and we could talk about it. It'd be more fun for them here, of course.
Yeah, of course. I think we'll give him 10 minutes more, and then we'll go ahead.
You know, I forget who it was, but you remember the guy who wrote the book on why Transformers were not the future and we're wasting billions of dollars making chips to remove space? You had him in the space a while ago.
That was Gary Marcus, I believe. Yes, that was Gary Marcus.
That's it. I wonder if he's spoken on this, because you could argue, if you're going to argue, you're waiting for the next big thing, and DeepSeek was the next big thing. It's still transformer based.
That's true. It's very interesting when you look at what DeepSeek is. It's just basically existing stuff put together, but like efficiently optimized for compute that other models were not really optimized for. Now, of course, they were to remove the Chinese propaganda, then everything would be great. But like, it's a really capable model. I really, really like it, especially for coding. Like, I don't use it for data analysis because I think it's like fundamentally not really built for that. You could use it if you want to, but for programming, it actually outperforms Claude in my opinion, which is really, really good.
Yeah, thanks for taking it off. This is a very interesting claim. So the first question is, what makes it like a novel thing? Is it just that it's like Anthropic and it's a competing model, and it's nice to see that there are now 4 entrants in the race or 5 entrants in the race as opposed to 2 or 3? Or is it that it is like a step function change from what we were doing and what everybody else was doing?
So is it unique? Is it unique? I think it's unique in that it's optimizations for stuff that otherwise didn't like it wasn't really done before. But I will also say it's kind of cool because it gives proof of concept to the idea of releasing open source material, like information open source, right? Because you had a bunch of studies that came out, plus you have the models, the weights, and everything. So I think that actually gives validity to, oh, hey, you can actually work on your own thing, and oh, hey, by the way, open source is actually useful. It's really cool.
How is it open source?
You mean like what it's based on was open source stuff?
They didn't actually open source anything. So while they released it in an MIT license and they gave out the weights and they gave out code that can run the weights, the weights are kind of a like opaque file, right? It's just like a giant file of binary numbers, like floating point numbers that load in a matrix, and then you run the model, right? The value is actually in how those numbers get put together. So if you think about like open source software like Linux or anything else, when you want to make a modification, you can actually make a modification. As an example, today, Jack Dorsey actually open sourced something, Goose, and that's actually open source. So you can actually run a script locally on your machine. It uses an AI model locally. It allows you to automate things. It's kind of like Macro Maker or like, those recorders and all those kinds of things that you could, run on your machine. And if you don't like what it's doing, or if you want to like tinker with the UI, you can go ahead and do it. If you want to fork it, you can make your own version. That's what open source is. So I think the ethos of open source is being co-opted for marketing purposes because I don't see what's open about this other than the fact that you can use it.
This is true. This I actually agree with you on. It's just that what it's based on is open source. See, the open source benefited in that it led to the creation of something like this, but there's nothing open source about the thing itself that we can agree on. So I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm actually agreeing with that. It's just that what it was based on is open source. So they kind of just took it.
Yeah, but they also didn't open source the R1, like the large model. They only open sourced the distilled version, which is the weights.
So basically they've depended on open source itself, but none of what they've made is actually open sourced.
Exactly.
Wild.
Right, so that's the downside of an MIT license. It's not perpetuative. Whereas a GNU license, it's right. If you use anything with that license, you have to open source everything. But of course, then people stop using those products because many corporations want to use open source but not contribute to open source.
Just like what happened here.
Yeah, and it's also really hard to enforce open source. Blockchain may be useful there. Potentially, I'm not going to get into that. It doesn't necessarily have to get distributed, as you know, where my position is on that. But there's no really an easy way. There's no easy way to enforce open source is respected when you have a perpetuity requirement, and you can't even enforce the credits to be visible somewhere, because oftentimes you use software these days and there's not like a credit screen or anything like that. And if it is, it's really deeply hidden. Oh no, we're talking about your favorite subject, by the way, open source AI.
Yeah. Sorry I'm late. I have this thing called a life that needed things to take care of.
I too have a life, but I'm better at organizing.
Is that a what?
I said, are you hallucinating? What's going on?
That is incredible. It's funny, like a couple spaces ago, you bragged about like being able to optimize your life properly to the point where you don't have that much work. And now that happened.
That wasn't on a space. That was on in private.
Really? Oh wow! I kept to jumble them all together.
Yeah,
I swear you mentioned this in public. I would have imagined that was.
I did not know.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it was just because we were on Discord and someone else was in there. Because I distinctly have filed it under public something.
No.
Right. Good. Okay.
All right, should we dive into DeepSeek?
Yes.
Sure.
Change.
Auda, what's your opinion on? Did you look at the cost and the exclusions that they have in the DeepSeek paper?
Are you talking about cost for inference, or are you talking about cost for training that they said they had?
What they claimed as their cost for training.
I think they said something like 5 or 6 million. I didn't have a look at the paper, but
okay.
I just tried using it.
Post the. Okay.
No. I said I just used it, and it's running pretty well.
Are you using the distilled version, the one that runs locally, or are you using the app?
I'm using it on Poe. Do you know Poe?
No.
It's Quora's bullshit version. Yeah. So Quora effectively runs a service called Poe, and you can basically use a variety of AIs all in one app.
Oh, you could theoretically just use LMSys and then contribute as well, right?
Yeah, but I think I would rather use like the best one for the job.
Fair enough. You don't want to contribute to the A/B test. Fair enough. I posted the paragraph if you want to just read that. I think it's very important that rather than reading the news, everybody look at the source material. And the last sentence, I can read it out.
I think you said in your in the thing you wrote that they basically said that this is the cost, assuming we get this price for the.
No, it's worse. It's much worse. So the last sentence is, note that the aforementioned costs include only official training of DeepSeek v3, excluding the costs associated with prior research and ablation experiments on architectures, algorithms, or data. And the last part, I think people don't understand how big of a deal it is. So like if I just put on like I'm gonna put a devil's advocate hat here. I don't think they were being nefarious to this extent, right? But maybe. If you say ablating data is not included in the cost, one of the things you can do is, like, if I'm just trying to be like as extreme as possible.
You have people basically labeling data for basically no money, kind of.
Yeah, but basically what they say is if you take all the data and let's say we started with 1 million pieces of data, right? And they do say they start with over 1 million tokens, and they don't say how many tokens they actually ended up with post-ablation. They have over 1 trillion tokens. So you start with over 1 trillion tokens, and let's say 50% of those tokens, you observe that when you run your backprop, the weights on the neurons don't change by much. And then you just say, okay, I'm just going to delete that piece of data from my training, and then I'm going to test and see if everything works. You can do that pass, and then you can do that again and again and again, and eventually what's going to happen is you're going to end up with only a set of data where if you remove any one item, the model regresses, right? So it's really cool. You've gotten a very, very nice data set. However, the cost to get to that data set being ignored means it's like saying my computer only costs as much as it does when I start it up. It just magically appeared. So my computer's actually free. So I've written a program, and because computers are free, I only have to take into account the electrical cost of running that program.
Yeah, so it's not taking into consideration the human cost, the number of human hours it took to basically label that data and then delete anything that was unnecessary.
Yeah, and so in GRPO, it doesn't use humans, to be fair. So that is novel, right? They do have a novel approach to find pieces of data that can be removed. But I would argue that the first time you train, that data costs you something. Removing it and then testing whether or not it was needed costs you something. And you don't do this in a single pass. You have multiple iterations. And another piece of evidence is in the same paper, they say it took them 2 months to pre-train. So if it took 2 months to pre-train, what were they doing in those 2 months? And by the way, that's just running the program, just running the code. And they don't include that in their cost either. So 2 months of hardware being used, they won't say how much hardware they used. That's nefarious in my opinion.
Right, that makes sense.
And then the final piece here is, not including architectures. That makes sense, right? You're doing R&D, you're trying to figure out which architectures work and which ones don't work. But when they don't include algorithms, why did they break that out? Is it because they think of knowledge distillation as an algorithm? What exactly are they saying when they're saying like they're not including?
This is why the open source community kind of says we don't have any major open source models, because just like dropping fucking weights isn't really open source. You can't really call something open source unless you can create it from scratch just by looking at what's made available.
Yeah, the ability to reproduce and modify is very important. Because you could theoretically make this model from scratch by copy pasting it, but you can't do it from scratch really.
Yeah.
And they also didn't release the training data, right? And that's been the biggest critique in the open source model space is, well, if you're going to open anything up, open up the data and the process.
They're not going to do that though, because all data is copyrighted.
Yeah, and I honestly, so speaking to the way the market has reacted on this and the way the press has looked at this, it's so confusing because if anything, what it's showing me, and I think what people should take away from this is it's very powerful how fast AI is developing and how quickly there's going to be a lot of applications that can use AI because the cost of using a model is going down, which we've talked about in this space multiple times, right? 10x reductions every year is currently the trend. However, if you have an app that you make, there's a reason why you choose to use AWS today or any other cloud provider versus running your own private server. And the reason is because they can always run it for cheaper, more cost effective. They can rent the machine out to other people.
It can scale.
Yeah, and when you get something popular, you don't have to go out and get the hardware and do it yourself. It's just kind of already there. So cloud services provide so much advantage that there's no reason why people would not use cloud. And then the flip side is when people say, oh, well, my data, I don't want to share my data. And all that data is usually on the cloud.